Good evening, Eastview Patriot football fans. I'm Michael Francis alongside the one and only Roderick Castillo as we get ready to face the Westwood Warriors tonight. An exciting time for high school football as it's football time in Texas. What a great evening, Roderick.
Yes, it is. It's a great evening and another year of football. And, can't wait to see what happens tonight.
The last time these two teams faced off, what an exciting thriller it was back in August of 2019. In fact, almost 2 years to the day. That was August 29th, 2019, and tonight being the 27th. What an exciting game it was. They tied at 35-35 going into overtime. And from the first play from scrimmage, Jackson Colson hits Charles Ross in the end zone for the go-ahead score. The Patriots hold off Westwood on their very next possession in a goal line stand to win the game 42-35 to begin the Coach P.A.T era here at Eastview. What an exciting time. Eastview coming off a regional semifinal season, going 3-round deeps in the playoffs last season, losing to Sharyland Pioneers 77-64 down in Corpus Christi. Picking up both by-district and area championships along the way against Austin McCallum and Alamo Heights. Westwood, coached by Coach Anthony Wood, comes off of a disappointing 2020 campaign in District 25 6A, finishing 3-6 overall, 2-5 in district, looking to improve on last season tonight versus Eastview if they can. Their next game is versus Austin High next Friday night. District 13-5, 5A, Division II is just really loaded with an incredible amount of talent. Dave Campbell's Texas football has their projections with Rouse topping the district once again as they won their first ever district championship last season. They will be followed at number 2 by Brenham, 3 Eastview, and number 4 Glenn. Finishing 5th will be Bastrop, followed by Cedar Creek, Elgin, and Pflugerville Connolly. Essentially the same finish that we had last year in the district is what Dave Campbell's is projecting how this district will finish out. Well, Roderick, you've got some comments from Coach P.A.T on tonight and just kind of covering some of the new players and new faces that we may be seeing tonight.
That's right. So when we spoke to Coach P.A.T, we definitely wanted to ask him a couple of questions. You know, obviously, if you were a part of last year, you kind of realized that the offensive line, they pretty much had a loaded senior class. So we kind of asked him what was that going to be a big concern and he pretty much answered, like, losing 4 seniors was definitely something that's always going to be tough, especially for an offensive line. But he also believes in his guys. They've been working hard. You know, there's a couple of guys that definitely, you know, have been putting up some good work. And especially something that is going to be highlighted is definitely number 50, Christopher McCravey. He's a junior center, so definitely something to be watching out for. The only returning lineman from last year's line is going to be Austin Kane, and he's going to be heading up the left guard duties. He's a junior, number 77, if you want to be paying attention to him tonight. And also, there's also something that has to be highlighted as well is the running back position, because they definitely lost the senior Isaiah Quentin Jackson. That was a tough loss for him.
Lost him and a Marion Brooks, a couple of powerhouses there in the backfield.
Definitely, and so, you know, with the emergence of the sophomore Asdriel Dionis and sophomore Jalen Edmondson, definitely something to keep an eye out for. If you actually pay attention to last year's stats, you know, Isaiah Quentin Jackson, he had a stellar season coming off of a big over 1,000-yard rushing season. So that's definitely something to look out for to see, and we definitely hope and wish the best for the sophomores as they're going to be coming into tonight's game. And something else that's pretty funny, we have a couple of nicknames here for you. You know, the backup quarterback tonight, Nelson Rivas, they call him Nelly. Austin Kane, one of the only returning offensive lineman, they call him Big Daddy Kane. he's going to be at the left guard position. At tailback, as we mentioned earlier, sophomore Asriel Dionis, they call him Bo Jackson, probably because of his big old heavy stock that he carries. And then finally, they call Jaden Baladez the right guard that's going to be coming in and filling in that position. They call him Bali. So that's definitely something that's going to be interesting. And something else that has to be highlighted as well is that Santiago Amato, the left tackle, Coach Feacock really honed in on him. He's done everything they've asked him to do, and they're definitely seeing the benefits of his hard work in that offseason leading up into this season. Once again, that's left tackle Santiago Amato, the junior. He'll be wearing number 65 this season. And definitely another person that we want to highlight tonight is the senior quarterback, Peyton Adams. Now, if you're paying attention also last year as well, Peyton Adams had a really good season. Peyton Adams had about a 2,500-yard season, about 29 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, and his percentage rating was 108.8. So that's a really good percentage in this district, and I know they're going to be expecting great things from him as well. You know, Feacock definitely mentioned that he's one of the hardest workers in that program, and finally getting his feet wet from last year, stepping into that position after Colson headed off to college. You know, he has a year under his system, under this system now, so Feacock is definitely expecting great things from him. Also, a couple of other things is that Michael Sedgwick, he's a senior wide receiver, and definitely something to watch out for him as well. He carried a lot of the load last year, being a junior, having about 39 catches, about 730 yards. And as you see right now, Eastview is running on to the field, and we definitely want to congratulate them on a great year, but also expecting something great also this year as well. And like I mentioned, Michael Sedgwick is something that you definitely want to pay attention to. Him and Peyton Adams obviously connected very well last year, and we're going to be expecting the same thing.
Well, the fantastic thing about tonight, folks, is the one thing that we didn't have last year in the COVID-delayed season. The high school bands and the drill teams are back, and fans are back in the stands. Texas high school football as it should be. The pomp and the circumstance that goes along with it, and we're excited to be a part of it. And we want you to know that SHN is glad to bring you Eastview Patriot football again this season. We thank Coach Feacock and his staff for their cooperation. We're actually parked next to the booth with all the coordinators. So, occasionally you can hear some things, and they can get pretty excited. And so that should be interesting. We're looking forward to that, and we're just about to get underway here. I believe they're about to have the national anthem. The one thing that, unfortunately, being here at the Palace on Parmer is they do not have an outlet for us to be able to have a crowd mic. And we have had a wireless option in the past, but we're here on the fourth floor of the press box, and there's just no way to get it close enough to our board to be able to include that. So it may sound kind of boxy and echoey in here, and we do apologize for that. But we're excited to get football back underway again here on SHN Sports. So the schedule for the Eastview Patriots this season, of course, tonight they're playing Westwood. Next week we will be at home versus Harker Heights, and then on the 10th we will be at Canyon Lake. Now that, folks, is about a 2-hour drive all the way down to Canyon Lake, so you'll definitely want to be prepared for that. All the game times start at 7 o'clock. There is only one Thursday night game, and that'll be later in the season, but everything will be on a Friday night. So we're going to take a moment for the national anthem, and we will be right back with you. We thank you for tuning in and listening to Eastview Patriot football on SHN Sports. It's football time in Texas as we're just about to get underway. Starting for the Eastview Patriots tonight on the offense, at wide receiver will be number 6, Michael Sedgwick. Wide receiver number 5, Jerry Barone. In the slot, sophomore, number 24, Grover Moore. In the H-back slot, junior, number 45, Jacob Martin. At tailback, sophomore, number 32, Azriel Dianis Elizalde. At quarterback, the senior, number 18, Peyton Adams. At left tackle, junior, number 65, Santiago Amato. At left guard, junior, number 77, Austin Kane. At center, junior, number 50, Christopher McCravey. At right guard, senior, number 72, Jaden Baladez. At right tackle, junior, number 68, Davis Jones. Defensively, for your Patriots tonight, at corner, senior, number 6, Michael Sedgwick. At corner, number 22, senior, Nathaniel Henderson. At free safety, senior, number 4, Tyler Wagoner. At strong safety, junior, number 21, Christian Lansdale. At weak safety, senior, number 2, Cade Elkins. At Mike linebacker, senior, number 10, Nelson Rivas. At Sam linebacker, senior, number 33, Thomas Thornburg. At end, senior, number 47, Sterling Gaddis. At tackle, junior, number 14, DJ Perez. At nose guard, junior, number 64, Vance Hurd. And at defensive end, senior, number 20, Aaron Olage. And the captains are headed out to meet at midfield. Jacob Martin, Thomas Thornburg, Cade Elkins, and Peyton Adams for the Westwood Warriors. And here we go. Number 9, Jaden Weber. Number 18, Lee Richards. Number 20, Cody Nasrallah. And number 60, Oliver Spradlin. And we will know here in just a moment who will be getting the ball to start this game. Eastview has won the toss, and they have deferred to the second half. So Westwood will be receiving the ball to get this game started. Westwood will be going from north to south, as Eastview will be defending the south end zone. What a beautiful, beautiful night and a beautiful facility, Roderick. You got the Round Rock ISD has updated their Jumbotron, as a lot of the school districts have. Georgetown ISD Athletic Complex just recently went through a facelift with their Jumbotron, and so that looks really nice. I know the same thing at Leander ISD as Bible Stadium, and I believe the other stadium that they have over there by Vista Ridge High School, Gupton Stadium. I was at a loss there for a moment. Also went through that facelift as well. Just about to get underway.
And there's no feeling like it, especially on a Friday night, especially like you mentioned earlier, how the fans are back and they're back in attendance. Student section is going to be going crazy. It's a wonderful day in high school sports.
Number 16, Charles Harris, will be kicking it off to get things started and get things underway. Here at Kelly Reeves, a short little squib kick. That goes through the legs and through the hands of Darian Barnes, as Westwood will take over at the 15-yard line. Number 12, Mike Davis, will take the snap as he hands off to number 25. That would be Brian Lee. From the gun, 2nd down and 8. He hands off to Lee again. A Lee to the left side and close to a 1st down. And they go with the tempo offense. From the gun, he hands off again. A flag on the play as Lee is tackled just behind the line of scrimmage. Bringing up 3rd down, depending on what this penalty is for. And that'll set him back 5 more yards. That'll bring up 3rd down and approximately 6. Red Storm defense looking to make a hold. Thank you, Chris Bauer, chiming in. Chris, unfortunately, unable to be with us tonight. Chris will be a part of this broadcast, and we look forward to him being here with us. Illegal formation, and I believe it was declined. And that'll bring up 4th down and 1. From the huddle, it's going to be extremely quick tempo. They hand off again to Lee, and it looks like he did just get across the line and pick up a 1st down. First and 10 from the 26. Again, a handoff to Darian Barnes, and he's tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe just loses half a yard. That'll bring up 2nd and 11. Second and 11 from the 25. Davis picks up the sign from the coaches. He'll pass out into the flats. He hits his receiver, Zach Pryor, and looks like he will just get back to the line of scrimmage. Now, maybe he did. They're marking it now that he's lost about another half yard, so it'll bring up 3rd and 12. Davis barks out the signs. His snap, he drops back. He's looking to hit his receiver. And he'll throw incomplete. No flag on the play, and that will bring up 4th down and 12. For the Westwood Warriors as their possession stalls.
And a great job by Eastview's defense, really swarming to the ball in this first possession defensively, really trying to make a statement.
Number 7, Gus Wendland, in to do the punting duties. The snap and a short punt. It goes out of bounds about at the Westwood 45.
Such great field position for Eastview right now, especially, to try to kick off a 2021 season with great field position like this.
And we will get to see Peyton Adams and the 2021 Eastview Patriot offense for the very first time here tonight. some big shoes to fill off of last year's team. Of course, Adams at the helm for that. In the gun, he drops back. He's looking for Sedgwick. Sedgwick jersey was being pulled, and they did not call the flag for that, for interference, and that will go incomplete for second down. That'll bring up second down and 10 from the Westwood 45. Peyton Adams has the snaps. He drops back. He's looking for a receiver. He finds Azriel Dianis Elizalde, and he stumbles for a loss of about 3. That will bring up third down and 13 from the 48 of Westwood. From the gun, Adams drops back. He's looking for a receiver. He throws into coverage, and it will go incomplete to Michael Sedgwick, and that will bring up fourth down. 4th and 13 as both teams struggle to get their offensive going here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Peyton Adams really had a good look at Michael Sedgwick. We just couldn't really hit him in stride, knowing that the defender was coming, so he had to kind of throw that ball a little bit behind. But nonetheless, not a very good start for both teams offensively, but you could say it's a good start for both teams defensively.
No score as of yet here in the first quarter with 8 minutes and 39 seconds left to go here in the first. Snap back to Sedgwick. He punts this one away. And that's going to roll down, take an Eastview bounce, and goes out of bounds right at the Westwood 10-yard line. Westwood in their second possession of the night. Mike Davis leads his team back out onto the field. Thomas Thornburg and the Patriot Red Storm defense back out on the field. The handoff again to Brian Lee. And he gets about a yard on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 9. A snap again to Lee, who sweeps on the right side and picks up a few yards, but there is a flag on the play, Roderick. Illegal formation on the Westwood Warriors. That'll be a 5-yard walk-off.
Yeah, it just seems right now that Westwood is trying to find some different formations to kind of trick Eastview, and it's really not paying off for them right now. They've already had their second flag for illegal formation. Kind of need to figure it out.
Westwood had a scrimmage last week versus Rouse. I know Rouse was able to do some damage offensively versus these Warriors. I'm not sure what the final score, not that they keep score. And Mike Davis is tackled in the backfield for a safety. One ref was saying that it was down, and now two are signaling a safety. So the head referee signals the safety, and that's 2 points for Eastview, and they will get the ball back.
Just a really great job by the defensive line, just creating so much pressure into Davis's face, and it really paid off with this safety. And it's a good start for the defense, and it also could possibly boost the offense into scoring position.
Well, that gives you a lot of confidence in this Red Storm defense as Thomas Thornburg, the big anchor for this defense. And you got Aaron Olaga. You got some of these guys that have been back or are returning from last season. And got a lot of playing time last year. You have several people that came in and played a lot last year due to injuries, because there was a lot of injuries throughout the season. And you know, if it was next man up last year, and that's the philosophy of this team. That's what Coach P.A.T has drilled into his players and his coaching staff, and it's just great to see that continued growth as the Patriots are entering their third season underneath Coach P.A.T.
Yeah, definitely. To add on to what you were saying, definitely a lot of these players have a year under their belt, so now it's more experience for them, and you're really seeing it pay off right now with that safety, especially with Thomas Thornburg coming in as a senior. You have Wagner coming in as free safety. You have Alage as a senior as well. All these guys have definitely had time under their belt last year, and you're seeing it pay off here early on into this game already.
Number 83, Matthew Jack, will be kicking it away to the Patriots. That will be his first kick of the night. Back deep for the Patriots. I believe it's Tyler Wagner and Michael Sedgwick. Jerry Barone will field it at the Eastview 46. Patriots from their own 46. 2-0 to score here in North Austin at Kelly Reeves. Eastview with 7 minutes and 5 seconds left here in the first quarter. Peyton Adams from the gun. He will hand off to Azriel Dianis. And I'm not sure if it's proper to say Dianis Elizalde or you just say Dianis. Adams from the gun. He drops back. Again, he finds Azriel out in the flats. I say Azriel. That was not Azriel. My bad, folks. That's Grover Moore, the sophomore. And he will pick on that reception. It'll bring up 2nd and 4. And a handoff to Azriel Dianis is close to a first down. And they're going to give him the first down on that. That'll be bring up 1st and 10 from the Westwood 29. And there's going to be a fumble and a turnover as Westwood strips the ball. And Davis and the Warriors back out on the field. Twins to the left as they're going north to south. The Red Storm defense will make the tackle in the backfield for a loss as they bring Brian Lee down for a 3-yard loss. And that'll bring up 2nd and 13 from the Westwood 36. Davis drops back in the gun. Lee to his right. He'll head off in the flats. He's going to find a receiver across the middle that's dropped behind the line of scrimmage for another loss. Third and 15 from the Westwood 34. Davis hands off to Lee. Lee will scamper up the middle. He will pick up about 8 yards, maybe 9, and it'll bring up 4th down. 4th down and 6. And they are going to bring out the punt team. Jerry Barone back deep for the Patriots. As they're rushing, it looks like they may call a timeout. Coach Feacock is not happy.
Yeah, I guess there was a miscommunication with who was supposed to be on the field, who wasn't supposed to be on the field, so he had to burn another one of his timeouts. You definitely don't want to do that, especially early on in the game with just the first quarter with only about 4 minutes left.
Well, this Red Storm defense is proving to be salty here in the first quarter. 4:43 remaining in the first. Eastview leading this one 2-0 over Westwood. We want to thank you for tuning in and watching Eastview Patriot football. That's the great thing that the UIL decided this season, was that they were going to continue to allow live streaming Friday night football. You know, in the past, you could not live stream Friday night football. You had to wait till after midnight before you could post the video for viewing. Up to that point, it was a Friday night audio-only option. But this season, along with last, they've extended it to allow for live streaming. The punt is away, and Jerry Barone is going to fall on it at the Eastview 17-yard line. Eastview was definitely moving the ball with their last possession and then had that unfortunate turnover. But, again, that Red Storm defense holds. Peyton Adams leads his team back out onto the field. From the gun, he'll hand off to Michael Sedgwick, who rounds the right side, and he's still on his feet. He will pick up the first down, as a whole host of Westwood Warriors will drive him out of bounds at approximately the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Patriots. And I want to say there's another timeout called for, and the scoreboard is not indicating who called that timeout. They still show 3 timeouts left, but I believe it was Westwood that called the timeout.
Yeah, definitely. He's probably not liking the way his team is going right now. And as far as on the Eastview side, you got to give it up to Peyton Adams, really directing his team. You know, they've been able to move the ball down the field. Now it's just turning those possessions into points. We haven't seen that so far, but hopefully we see it this drive.
One thing he was successful about was leading the team last season and being very effective. Didn't throw a lot of interceptions. He was very smart with the ball in his hands and proved to be one of the best quarterbacks in 13-5A Division II. He will hand off to Asriel Dianis, who takes it up the middle, and he is close to a first down himself, and they are. They award him the first down. Eastview picks up another first down. That will bring up 1st and 10 from the Eastview 43. 4:03 remaining here in the first. Eastview leading this one 2-0. Adams finds Sedgwick for another first down. Hits him with a pass to the Westwood side of the field, showing that flash of what he is so successful at doing, and Eastview making the adjustments. Under center, Adams will hand off to Asriel Dianis, and there is a flag on the play. Tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Holding on Eastview, that will drive them back 10 yards. That will bring up 1st and 20. Austin Kane called for the hold. Well, there's one thing that you don't want to happen, and we're seeing it right here. You're seeing some self-inflicted wounds happen with the turnover and now a 10-yard penalty here on a possession that was definitely moving the ball forward. Adams from the gun, and he will hand off to Grover Moore, who is met in the backfield, and that is about a 6-yard loss, and that will bring up second down and 26 from the Eastview 40, and traveling in the wrong direction, Roderick.
Definitely something you don't want to do. First, you had the holding penalty, and now you had a trick play to try to catch him off guard. Really didn't go anywhere, but with this pass right here, it's a great look.
Jacob Martin gets the completion from Peyton Adams, and that will pick up a pretty good sized chunk of yardage and bring up third down and about 17. They get 9 yards of that back. Adams from the gun. He drops back. He's looking for a receiver, and he can't find one. He's still looking. He finds Sedgwick over the middle. Sedgwick still on his feet. He slips a tackle, and he is headed toward the end zone. And he does cross the end zone for a touchdown. The Eastview Patriots take it all the way to the house. But there is a flag on the field. And we will see what the call is. Westwood coaches heated on the sidelines, so not exactly sure what this will indicate as the flags were well down the field. They're about located at the 20-yard line. What an outstanding play as Michael Sedgwick, seeing that Peyton Adams could not find an open receiver, managed to curl back and find an opening for Adams to hit.
And such a great look for Peyton Adams because nowhere to go. Him deciding to either run the ball or try to look for an open receiver, find Sedgwick at the very last second, and Sedgwick does what he does best. And even Fekoch said it himself that he's one of the fastest players, if not the fastest players, on the team, and takes it to the house.
Adams definitely showing a lot of maturity and not getting rushed into a bad decision. So, unsportsmanlike penalties on both penalties. On both teams, they will be offset, so the score will count. And Charles Harris will come in to attempt the extra point. So looking to see how all this filters out right here. And I thought that I heard the ref say that there was an ejection. The kick is up, and it is good. And Eastview takes a 9-0 lead here in the first quarter with 2 minutes and 34 seconds remaining. And that's one of the things that we don't want to see happen. You know, get those unsportsmanlike penalties and see an ejection. Because if I understood him right, he was saying that Grover Moore, number 24, would have been ejected.
That's
unless
something
they were talking about 24 on Westwood's side, Hayden Schultz.
And that's something that obviously happens a part of the game. You know, you make a touchdown or you help your teammate score the touchdown. You obviously want to show a little bit of emotion, but don't let that emotion definitely get to your head. And we definitely saw it happen. And we hope that Grover Moore is not ejected from this game because he's one of our starters, and he's definitely this is possibly his first game as a varsity player, knowing that he's a sophomore.
So definitely don't want those types of penalties. So I did see him stay on the field for the field goal team. So I'm assuming that it is not him that was ejected from the game. Man, it is so great. I wish that we had the crowd mic so that you could hear the bands in the stands playing their stand songs. And it just a great aspect that we didn't have last year. You know, a lot of it was just a silent stadium except for what was on the field, or, you know, at some stadiums the home band would be there, but not the away team, not the visiting team. And toward the later end of the season, not even the visiting drill teams were there. Harris kicks this one away. It is all the way back to the Westwood 12-yard line, where Marion Lopez will fall on it. No return on the play.
And just as you mentioned earlier, you know, it's definitely a wonderful sight to see once again these fans, these bands that have come out. You know, as you mentioned last year, 2020 was a way different circumstance. We had a little bit of a delayment of the season, and you had to worry about so many things with the pandemic and COVID. And knowing that we're able to this 2021 season to actually, you know, have the fans gather, have the band here, it's definitely a great atmosphere to have.
Mike Davis will hand off to Brian Lee. Brian Lee will pick up a yard. That'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Davis from the gun. He drops back. He's looking for a receiver deep, and there is going to be a pass interference call on Tyler Wagoner. And that's unfortunate because there was no way that Grant Jaeger was going to be able to get underneath that pass as he was already stumbling.
Yeah, it looked like the defender couldn't really see. He just felt that he kind of was getting beat a little bit, so he had to kind of grab onto him. And knowing that the pass was possibly going to be on the way, he ended up possibly getting this pass interference, something that definitely Eastview doesn't need at this moment in time.
That'll be a 15-yard penalty on Tyler Wagoner. And that will bring up 1st and 10. From the Westwood 33-yard line. Hesitated on that because I was waiting for the referee to spot the ball. First and 10 from the Westwood 33. Davis all by himself in the backfield. He will pass this one to Grant Yeager. Grant Yeager will make the catch and add on an additional 9 yards and pick up another Westwood first down. Last year's Patriot defense was a bend but don't break defense, and you're seeing a lot of that here early on with the Red Storm defense, as they are not breaking. That pass goes incomplete, and that will bring up 2nd and 10 from the Westwood 40. 1:35 remaining here in the first quarter. Eastwood leading this one 9-0 over the Warriors. Yeager in motion. Davis has a snap. He rolls left and hands it back to Brian Lee up the middle. And he will pick up about 8 yards. And will bring up 2nd down and 2. Or 3rd down and 2. Third and 2 from the Westwood 48. Davis from the gun, and the whistle blows. Don't know that I see a flag. Timeout Westwood prior to the snap, as they didn't like what they were seeing from that Patriot defense for the play that they had called. So they'll put the time back on the clock. A minute. Well, hold on. I don't know what should. 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining in the first. Making adjustments on the clock. The The field nearly completely in shadow now, as across the way you can see the sunlight from the setting sun back in the west over our shoulders. Westwood back on the field. Davis in the gun, Lee to his left. Eastview with a six-man front. Thornburg stumps up the middle. Handoff over to the left side to Zach Pryor, who will pick up the first down, and along with 6 yards. First time tonight that the Warriors have been in Eastview territory as they snap the ball from the Eastview 44. A handoff to Brian Lee. He'll pick up about 2 yards on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 2 from the 42. Snap back to Lee. Davis. He hands off to Lee on the left side. Lee will pick up 3 additional yards. Actually, give him 2, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 6 from the 40-yard line of Eastview. 4-man front for the Patriots. That ball is batted away by Jacob Martin. That'll go incomplete. And that will be the end of the first quarter. Eastwood leading this one 9-0 after 1 quarter of play. We want to thank you for tuning in and watching Eastview Patriot football here on SHN Sports. I'm Michael Francis alongside Roderick Castillo. I want to welcome Roderick tonight as it's his first ever broadcast with SHN Sports.
Yes, that's correct, and I totally am thankful for the opportunity that SHN has extended towards me to be able to, go along this ride with Eastview Patriot football. I actually had a brother in Eastview Patriot football that played his junior and senior year on varsity in the fall of 17 and the fall of 18. So I definitely love Eastview Patriot football. It's in my blood, and hopefully you get to enjoy every single moment that we're here on this broadcast.
And they will swap ends of the field, and Westwood will now travel north. And Eastview will defend the north goal, the north end zone. Have to make some modifications. Just come off of baseball season as I do the play-by-play for the Rouse Raider baseball team. And they ended up going to the state championship tournament and losing in the first round to Hallsville at the time. But you make those changes, and so I know I think I've flubbed up a couple of times, giving signs and stuff like that. So my apologies, folks. Davis has it. He drops back. He's looking for his receiver, Grant Yeager, out in the open. Off his fingertips at the 10-yard line, incomplete. That will bring up I want to say, well, they're moving the chains back a whole different direction. So that was a turnover on downs. I didn't realize that was 4th down as they were going for it.
Yeah, definitely. It was a crucial 4th down that they faced, and they had a great look. It's just that receiver couldn't reel in the catch. And henceforth, that's why Eastview was taking over at the 40.
Peyton Adams slips the tackle. He finds Jacob Martin out in the flats. There is a flag on the play in the area of the line. This could be coming back as a hold. A face mask. It's a face mask on Westwood for a 15-yard penalty. And this is typically what you see in the early start of a season is, both teams usually have some rust that they're trying to knock off. They've had a couple of scrimmages, and this is the first game of the season toward the march toward district, which, these pre-district games, they don't really count in the overall march to the playoffs. Peyton Adams from the gun. Handoff is bobbled and turned over. Westwood will pick up another turnover.
And to go back to your point, Mike, definitely there's a bunch of kinks each team is trying to work out right now. It's the beginning of the season. They've only had maybe one scrimmage to actually, go through their playbook, see what plays work, see what plays don't, see what coverages they need to work on, see what coverages work. And so there's a lot of kinks definitely between both the Patriots and the Warriors that they're definitely having to work out right now. Neither team has been able to truly score other than that Sedgwick catch when Peyton Adams had to roll out of the pocket.
Mike Davis from the gun. Trips to his right. He will hit his receiver, Jaden Weber. He just gets back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Westwood spreading the field. Davis from the gun. Lee to his right. Drops back. He's under pressure. He gets the pass to Grant Yeager. Grant Yeager still on his feet. He will pick up the 1st down at the 49-yard line. No, 3rd down and 1. It was just a gain of 9. I thought he was close enough to the 1st down, but not quite. 3rd and 1 from the 49. 10:48 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Davis hands off to Lee over the left side. He will pick up the 1st down and then some. Into Eastview territory. That'll bring up a 1st down at the Eastview 42-yard line. A direct snap back to Brian Lee. Actually, that is Marcus Clinton who came in. I saw the 2 and didn't pick up the other 2. Didn't pick up the double deuce. Davis from the gun. Clinton to his right. He drops back. He's looking for a receiver. He's got a man open, and he makes the catch down to the 1-yard line. First and goal to go from the 1-yard line with Westwood threatening here early in the 2nd quarter. Owen Norrell in at quarterback. He will hand off to Brian Lee, who will easily get into the end zone for the touchdown. Westwood cuts into the lead.
And it was a really good pass by Davis, but an even better catch by the receiver. You could really tell that the corner really wanted to go for that interception, and the receiver ended up coming up with a great catch and a great pass by Davis, and hence leading to the 1-yard running touchdown.
Matthew Jack in to kick the extra point attempt. The snap is good, and the kick is up, and it is good. Nine to 7 Eastview with 9:44 remaining here in the first half. As that turnover proved to be a costly turnover on a handoff exchange from Peyton Adams. Well, they've had 2 turnovers tonight, and that's the one thing that they were really good about last year was ball control. And it was rare to have the turnovers. And tonight they have 2.
It's definitely like I mentioned earlier. You really want to work out the kinks for your first game of the season, but that is something definitely you don't want to worry about is the turnover margin. And we've already seen 2 turnovers already within the first half. Something that definitely Fecoch is definitely going to address at halftime.
Michael Sedgwick and Tyler Wagner back deep. Jerry Barone and Charles Harris standing about the 20-yard line. Matthew Jack set to kick off. He'll put this one up, and it will go out of bounds, roughly about the 23-yard line. So that will most likely come to the 35. To get things started for the Eastview Patriots. This will be the 5th possession on the night for the Patriots. Ball will be spotted at the Eastview 30-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 30. Adams in the gun. He will hand off to Azriel Dianas, who is met at the 1-yard line and stopped for a gain of 1. 2nd down and 9 for the Patriots. Carlos Ramirez, wide right. He will fake the handoff to Azriel and look to hit Jacob Martin off the hands of Martin for an incomplete pass. That will bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Patriots. Patriots struggled with their first possession and ended up punting the ball away. But they've been able to move the ball tonight, and they're showing a little struggle here with this 5th possession. Adams from the gun. He's looking for a receiver deep. And then he finds Azriel Dianas for about a 4-yard gain. And that will bring the ball to the 35. That'll bring up 4th and 5. And that will bring on the punt team. Michael Sedgwick back deep to punt. And he will punt the ball away to Grant Yeager. Yeager back deep for the Warriors. Snap is there. The ball is punted away. And it will roll out of bounds roughly around the Westwood 39-yard line. No, 5-yard penalty. Let's see. That would just about pick up a 1st down if they walk it off. So that would give new life back into and that will take them beyond the line of game. So it'll be 1st down, 1st and 10, Eastview from the 40-yard line.
And a small break for Eastview, knowing that they weren't really getting the ball moving in that possession, but knowing that they ran into the kicker and now they got a fresh set of downs. Hopefully they can capitalize on this.
From the gun. He hands off to Azriel Dianis, who takes it up the middle, still on his feet, to the Westwood 40, a 20-yard gain. Quick handoff, and that will pick up a 4-yard gain. Second down and 6 from the 36-yard line. Again, he hands off to Azriel Dianis, and Dianis close to the line to gain. And he picks up the first down. And you're seeing Azriel Dianis being a workhorse carrying this ball, Roderick.
Yeah, definitely. As soon as they get up to the line, they're looking obviously to Azriel Dianis to lead this team and be the workhorse of possibly the season.
Handoff to Jalen Edmondson, another sophomore. Peyton from the gun, Edmondson to his right. He'll hands off again. He's through the line. He's up the middle. He could go all the way. And he gets tripped up about the Westwood 5-yard line. First and goal from the 5-yard line for the Patriots. Jalen Edmondson on the carry. Again, he gets the carrying duties, and he's met just about the time he gets the ball. He just might have picked up a half a yard or so. Second and goal for the Patriots. Edmondson to Adams left. Adams with the keeper, and he will bull over the defender into the end zone as he puts Gus Wendland on the ground. Touchdown, Eastview. Adams takes care of it himself. Charles Harris in to attempt the P.A.T. The snap to Adams. The kick is up, and it is no good as the Warriors did get a hand on it. Score 15-7 Eastview with 6:40 remaining in the first half.
And I want to go back to definitely that play earlier with Peyton Adams. Peyton Adams definitely had a clear shot at getting into the end zone. And even last year, too, he had a couple of carries as well, a couple of touchdowns running the ball. So we're seeing the same thing as well this year. And he's definitely, like we mentioned earlier, great leader, showing maturity enough to hold on to that ball and score the 4-yard run.
Charles Harris out to kick it away. Back deep for the Warriors. Zach Pryor and Darian Barnes. Harris will put toe to leather. This one's up, and the Warriors run into each other as Ryan Momine signaled for the fair catch.
It seemed like when they weren't on the same page. One was going towards the ball, the other was going towards the ball. One had a signal of fair catch, the other was ready to run the ball. But henceforth, where the Westwood takes over at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, anytime that a player waves for the fair catch, the ball cannot be advanced. Mike Davis in the gun. Brian Lee to his left. He will hand off to Lee. Lee will pick up a couple of yards, and that will bring up second down. Second down and 8 from the Westwood 27. Davis from the gun, Clinton to his left. Davis drops back. He's looking for a receiver. He had Jaden Weber deep, but unable to make the catch as he tried to turn around and ended up going backwards and stumbled and fell.
It's just a really great look by Davis. Just wasn't able to put enough arm on it for the receiver to catch it in stride.
3rd and 8 from the Westwood 27. Davis from the gun, and he will hand back to Marcus Clinton, who is met by the Red Storm defense, a whole host of Patriots. And that will be a loss of 3. That will bring up 4th and 11. Fourth down and 11 from the 24. Eastview leading this one 15-7 with 5:38 remaining here in the second quarter. Gus Wendland back deep to punt the ball away. Tyler Wagner and Jerry Barone back deep for Eastview. Wagner has it. He takes it from the 42 and then will advance it down to the Westwood 41-yard line. So 19-yard punt return for Tyler Wagner. Peyton Adams from the gun. He will hand off to Asdriel Dianis. And Dianis will pick up roughly about 9 yards on the carry. That will bring up 2nd down and 1. Adams hands off again to Asriel Dianis, and he will pick up the 1st down. Dianis to the 28-yard line of Westwood. 1st and 10 from the 28 for the Patriots. 4:38 remaining here in the second quarter. Adams pitches it to Jerry Barone. Barone around the left side. He will pick up 3 yards on the carry. That will bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Patriots. Jalen Edmondson in the backfield. Peyton Adams from the gun. He'll hand off to Edmondson. Edmondson over the right side. Oh, he just steamrolls a Warrior. And he's close to picking up and does pick up a Patriot 1st down.
And you're seeing a nice duo between both sophomores, Asriel Dianis and Jalen Edmondson, literally showing their power right now.
They are definitely, man, he just laid the wood to Westwood. Again, he hands off to Edmondson, who takes it up the middle. He will pick up about 2 yards on the carry. That will bring up 2nd down and 8.
And especially right now between Asdriel and Jalen, they're both showing that even though they're sophomores and this could be their first sight of varsity action, they're not afraid of the lights. They're not afraid of the seniors, the juniors on the Warriors team, and they're showing exactly how football is supposed to be played, hard-nosed football.
Timeout by Westwood. That's their last timeout of the half, with Eastview threatening here in the late in the second quarter. Ball at the 16, so it'll be second down and 8 from the Westwood 16. You know, the good thing that Coach Feacock has been so good, and his staff have been so good at over the past 3 seasons or the past 2 seasons coming into this season, is making adjustments at halftime and getting the kids to buy into it. So, you know, you look for some improvements coming back in the second half.
Yeah, definitely working on the kinks a little bit regarding the first half. You know, it's the first game of the season. Definitely want to figure out what works, what doesn't work. And like you said, Coach Feacock and that staff are really good at making halftime adjustments, and we'll see.
Sedgwick and Edmondson in the backfield. Adams will keep it and take it up the middle. And he is stopped, but he picks up about 4 yards. That will bring up third down and 4. Quick snap. This time he'll keep it again, and he takes it back up the middle. And that is going to bring up, he's going to be short. That will bring up a 4th down. He's about 2 yards short. 4th and 2 from the 10-yard line. A direct snap to Thomas Thornburg as he was in the backfield. And that is a big young man, but there is a flag on the play. False start on the Patriots. That will drive them back 5 yards. That will bring up 4th and about 7.
And such a nice play call design. You know, you really don't see somebody on the defensive side like Thomas Thornburg, a senior, you know, taking that position of the running back, possibly in a Wildcat. And it could have been home for 6, but due to the penalty, now Eastview's faced with a 4th down and a long 7.
Adams from the gun, and the Patriots are going to take a timeout and discuss this. They've already had one P.A.T. blocked, and so do you risk trying to kick a field goal? Do you have that kind of trust in your kicker?
Just all depends on the situation of the game, you know, knowing that even though Eastview's up 15-7, they're probably wanting, even if they don't make this, it's going to be a long way for Westwood to even make a drive with 4 minutes left, or even 2 minutes left, excuse me. But, you know, knowing possibly, you know, like you mentioned earlier, Mike, how their extra point was even blocked, the fact of the matter is that they look as if they were going for it on 4th down.
They definitely did, and I suspect that's probably what they're going to do, is go for it here deep in the Westwood end of the field. Fourth down and 7 for the Patriots. Adams in the gun. He takes the snap, and he's going to fake a reverse. And Asdriel stumbles. That turf monster grabbed his feet and took him down in the backfield, and Eastview will turn over on downs.
Yeah, had Asdriel ended up being able to make that reverse play that they were going for, it probably would have been 6 for Sedgwick, because Sedgwick, looking at that sideline, he saw nothing but green grass.
It was wide open to the left, and that turf monster has got him, and he couldn't flip the ball. I guess he figured, you know, better to go down than to turn it over or put it in the air and let him advance the ball forward. Davis back in to lead his Warriors, and he will hand off to Marcus Clinton. Marcus Clinton bottled up there in the middle. And he will pick up a yard. That will bring up 2nd down and 9 from the 19. Coming down to 2 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Eastview leading this one 15-7.
And it feels like maybe Westwood's trying to feel out to see if they can get this first down here to possibly a 2-minute situation. But knowing that neither team pretty much has a timeout, I think Westwood only has one left, that they're possibly going to take this into halftime.
Davis looking for a receiver over the middle. And he finds him, and he is down the field, picks up a huge gain. That is going to be Lee Richards with his first catch of the night, and a huge, huge catch.
So I definitely stand corrected that Westwood definitely was trying to advance the ball, just possibly trying to catch ECU off guard with that little run-pass option.
Davis rolls left, and finds another receiver, Jaden Weber. Close to another first down. He picks up 9 yards on the pass. Westwood looking to strike quickly. 1:19 remaining in the second quarter. 1st and 10, they gave him the first down. I think that's what the discussion was, whether or not he made it. And they did. They gave the first down. Davis from the gun. He will hand off to Lee. Lee up the middle. And the ball came out. We'll see if they rule it a fumble. Still no signal. And they're going to say he was down. Initially, no gain on the play. That will bring up 2nd and 10. Cody Nasrallah in the backfield with Davis. Davis will find Weber. Weber will roll around and pick up some extra yards after the catch. That will bring up 3rd down and about 4. Third and 4 from the 16. Davis takes a snap. He's rolling back, and he will be met and tackled in the backfield by Sterling Gaddis. Sterling Gaddis wraps him up and drops him for a huge, huge loss. And the clock is about to expire, and that will do it. The clock expires as Westwood had no timeouts remaining. And the Red Storm defense holds and doesn't break. And Eastview will go into the halftime, leading this one 15-7. Westwood out of District 26 5A. Westwood trying to start off on a good foot with their home opener. Eastview is looking to issue them a home opening loss for the second consecutive time. So we want to thank you all for tuning in. We will leave the camera feed up, but unfortunately there is not a crowd mic for us to listen to let you listen to it, but we will put some just some generic music on and let it play while you watch the halftime festivities. We want to thank you for tuning in and watching Eastview Patriot football on SHN Sports. I'm Michael Francis alongside Roderick Castillo. We will be back with you shortly. Welcome back as we're set to get things back underway here in the third quarter of this contest, where your Eastview Patriots are leading this one 15-7 over the Westwood Warriors here in the home opener of this 2021 football season, Roderick.
Yeah, it's a great football season, first of all, kicking it off back with the fans, with the band, with everybody that can be in attendance. You know, it's just a great football action, Friday night football action, and definitely what we've been seeing here is a good contest, both defensively and offensively so far.
It has been, and, you know, just a couple of mistakes by the Eastview Patriots with the turnovers that one definitely proved to be costly, as the Warriors were able to turn that into points. Eastview being well known for making adjustments at the half with Coach Vikach and his staff. Hopefully we'll get that put to bed and get things turned around and just advance this score, as they deferred in the first half, and they will receive the kickoff to begin the second half. But, you know, we had some big plays take place in that first quarter with that 45-yard touchdown strike from Peyton Adams to Michael Sedgwick. Michael Sedgwick making things happen with his feet and was able to punch it into the end zone and get the points on the board. The first 2 points that came off a safety, as that Red Storm defense sacked Mike Davis in the end zone to pick up the first safety of the season. Not too common that you see a safety, and we saw one tonight with that outstanding Red Storm defense. And as you and I were talking earlier about Thomas Thornburg and what a monster he's been on defense tonight so far.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Thomas Thornburg is someone you definitely want to watch even throughout this season. He's been a workhorse for that defense, and like Mike mentioned earlier, even though Eastview has had those 2 costly turnovers, they're still up in the contest, and Peyton Adams is doing it with his feet. He's leading the team offensively, and Thornburg is doing it defensively, leading that team as well. And as you mentioned earlier, the fastest player on the Eastview squad, Sedgwick, with that 45-yard connection with the Adams rolling out of the pocket, nowhere to go, finds Sedgwick at the last second, and you definitely got to give DJ Perez that safety honor where honor is due. The first safety of the season for the Patriots. And it definitely looks like that Red Storm defense is starting to show some life.
Definitely are, and we're seeing some flash here also with the 2 sophomore running backs that you mentioned earlier with Jalen Edmondson and Azriel Dianis. Dianis with a 20-yard carry and an explosive play. Edmondson also with some explosive carries too, and picking up some critical first downs. Peyton Adams with his feet taking it into the end zone to get that second score for the Patriots. And gosh, you know, an outstanding job. Unfortunately, they weren't able to connect with the P.A.T. on that touchdown score, or else the score would be 16-7. You also saw Tyler Wagner with some flash on a punt return. He takes it back 19 yards to pick up a big return.
Yeah, definitely what you want to notice as well. Like Mike mentioned earlier, Azriel Dianis and Jalen, even though these guys are both sophomores, these guys are not afraid to hit, and it's definitely showing right now how they're wanting to punch the ball and wanting to run through defenders, run through a brick wall, if you would say, just to prove that they deserve a spot here on Friday Night Lights, to prove that they deserve to be on this Patriot varsity squad.
Absolutely. So exciting. Exciting so far through the first half, as we're just about to get underway here in the second half. Man, what a halftime performance by these 2 outstanding schools. Unfortunately, not able to bring you that. We just don't have the technology here to be able to do that here at Kelly Reeves Stadium.
Yeah, just to give a little bit of background of myself, I actually graduated from Georgetown High School Eagles back in 2013, and I actually was a part of the band myself, the Eagle Band, and just being able to listen to that once again, here between both the Westwood Warriors and the Eastview Patriots definitely was amazing sound to hear, but also an amazing sight to see, knowing that it's still early in the season, but these kids are putting in just as much as work and a lot of work as well with these instruments. You know, even the drum line, they're having fun, and they're about to pump up each student section, their respective student sections. But yes, definitely a wonderful sight to see once again here in these Friday nights.
Now, the bands, you know, as you mentioned, they get started even before football gets started in 2 days. And most schools now, they have asphalt pavement for them to do their practicing on. And so they're not necessarily out on the fields. They're out on that hot pavement during the summer. So, you know, a lot of dehydration and stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of sacrifice by the parents and the students alike being part of the band program. Matthew Jack set to kick things away for the Westwood Warriors. Back deep for Eastview, Michael Sedgwick and Tyler Wagner. This ball will roll out of bounds about the 10-yard line as Tyler Wagner just moved away from it. And that'll bring it up to, I believe, the 30-yard line is where they will establish the line of scrimmage.
Such a smart move by Wagner as well, knowing that the ball was possibly going to be rolling out of bounds, taking the chance and the risk, and knowing that risk paid off, and now Eastview is starting off with pretty good field position.
Well, the thing you want to make sure is that it's going to go out of bounds. You know, don't let it roll to a stop. We did have that happen one time last year, and the opposing team recovered it, and it was their ball. It's just like an onside kick. Adams from the gun. He rolls to his left. And he will find a receiver out in the flats, Jerry Barone. And Barone will pick up the first down. Big first down for Barone. A handoff up the middle to Asdriel Dianis. He will pick up roughly about 6 yards on the carry. That'll bring up 2nd down and 4 from the 48-yard line of Eastview.
And the same thing that we saw in the first half, we're seeing here in the second half with the offense wanting to keep it up-tempo to keep Westwood on their toes.
Peyton fakes the handoff. He will keep it himself up the middle. He will pick up 6 yards for an Eastview first down. Into Westwood territory here early in the third quarter as Eastview is driving. Adams from the gun. Again, rolls to his left. He finds Jerry Barone out open to his left. They will pick up 7 yards. That will bring up 2nd down and 3 from the 40-yard line of the Westwood Warriors.
And it seems like Peyton's getting a little bit more comfortable as the game wanes and as Westwood gives these different coverages.
Adams hands off to Asdriel Dianis. He's up the middle for another Eastview first down. 10-yard carry on the play to the 29-yard line of Westwood. Jalen Edmondson will line up to the right of Peyton Adams. Eastview going south in the direction. From the gun, he'll hand off to Edmondson. Edmondson around the corner. He will pick up 3 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 7. Second down and 7 from the Westwood 26. Snap to Adam. He rolls right. He's looking for his receiver. He finds Jerry Barone. Barone for a first down. And Barone just playing a big part of this offense in this opening drive of the third quarter.
Definitely, you can tell that Peyton Adams is for sure looking for Barone, and he's finding him in these different coverages and different looks, and he seems to be a little bit more comfortable.
From the gun, he will hand off to Edmondson. Edmondson to the left. He finds an opening, and he will get it into the end zone for a unmolested touchdown. Eastview extends their lead 21-7 with an opening drive score here in the third quarter.
Such a great look from Jalen Edmondson, to really find that hole and break loose from one or two defenders and to reach that touchdown.
Edmondson with a 20-yard scamper into the end zone. So 5-yard penalty on Eastview. Not exactly sure if it was a delay of game or false start. False start. I didn't see the flag. The extra point attempt is up, and it is good. Charles Harris with the extra point. Eastview extends their lead 22-7.
And it seems like what you mentioned earlier, Mike, definitely that Peacock did see something within that first half that he wanted to go back to, and we're seeing it right now with even Edmondson with that nice 20-yard scamper that you mentioned earlier, bouncing off defenders, proving once again that even that Asriel Denias, him and Edmondson and himself are worth having a dual running back threat.
Eastview definitely exposing some weaknesses here in the Westwood Warrior defense in this third quarter and taking advantage of it. They definitely look sharp with that opening drive. Charles Harris on to kick the ball away. Back deep for the Warriors. Zach Pryor and Darian Barnes. Harris lines it up, and he will kick this thing away. Barnes has it. He's round to his right. He will pick that up from the 25, and he's to the 40. And I believe that was Zach Pryor and not Barnes.
Yeah, Westwood definitely looking to capitalize on such a good kickoff return and having good field position. Hopefully they can capitalize and make their adjustments as well.
They will get things started from their own 40-yard line. Mike Davis from the gun. He will hand off to Brandon Lee up the middle. Brian Lee up the middle for a 2-yard gain. We'll bring up 2nd down and 8 from the 42. Thomas Thornburg on the stop for the Red Storm defense. Davis hands off to Lee once again. Lee will pick up another yard, and that will bring up 3rd down and 7. 3rd and 7 from the 43 of Westwood. That Red Storm defense is just flashing some leather tonight.
And the same thing that we saw in the first half, we're seeing here in the second half. They're just overall pursuing the ball, and the linebackers and the everybody on the defensive line are showing that they're hungry.
Davis will send this one over the head of Zach Pryor, incomplete. That will bring up 4th down and 7. And the punt team will come on to punt it away.
You can definitely tell that something along this defense right now that they're definitely wanting to stop the run and make Westwood a one-dimensional team. And you're seeing it so far here, even in this third quarter, in this first possession for Westwood.
8 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Eastview leading us 22-7 with Westwood punting it back to Eastview. Ball will roll out of bounds around the 20-yard line of Eastview. He's actually going to spot it at the 22. Peyton Adams leads his team back out on the field. Jacob Martin and Carlos Ramirez wide to Adams' right from the gun. He will pass this over to Sedgwick, who makes a couple of slick moves and jukes a defender, breaks a couple of ankles, as they say, and he will pick up a first down. That's a gain of about 13 yards. Not sure if there is a flag on the field. There is a flag, and that will come back, holding on Eastview. That will bring up 1st and 20. Okay, so they made a correction on who they called it on as far as player. But the end result is a 10-yard walk-off, and that will bring up second down or first down and 20 for the Patriots. Adams lines up in the gun. Deonis to his left. Adams with the keeper. He rolls out to the left. He will pick up about the 10 yards that he lost. That'll be a 10-yard pickup for Adams. And that'll bring up second down and 10 for the Patriots from the 22. Adams will dump the pass off to Michael Sedgwick, a slant across the middle, and that will be a 9-yard pickup. That will bring up third down and 1. And the whistle will blow. A flag is thrown, and it may be a false start. False start on Eastview. That'll be a 5-yard walk-off, and that will bring up third down and about 6 yards. Adams from the gun. Deonis to his right. Going to pass over the middle and hit Jacob Martin. Martin may have fumbled the ball. Westwood is saying they have it. And indeed, they do. Another turnover. Oh, wait a minute. They corrected it, and they said that it is not a turnover. Okay. All right. That is good. Punt team will come on for Eastview. Michael Sedgwick back deep to punt the ball away, and he will be punting it away to Grant Jager.
And I guess that's the one thing that you can take from this, that even though they didn't give up that field position and didn't give it that fumble, the fact of the matter is that they are punting.
Sedgwick punts this one away, and it will go out of bounds at the Eastwood 43-yard line.
And just on that last drive as well, definitely that's something that you didn't want was the holding call. You got the yards back, but all in all, it still led to another 3 and out. Something that definitely Eastview did not want at this particular moment. They wanted to keep the ball driving, possibly, get good field position, and possibly obviously score once again to extend this lead. But nonetheless, here we are on defense again with the Red Storm defense.
Red Storm defense has been outstanding pretty much all night long. 4-man front for the Patriots. Wildcats snap to Zach Pryor, and Zach Pryor will take it to the house. A 57-yard touchdown run by Zach Pryor. And definitely not what you want to give up, those big explosive plays.
Definitely not. And I know Fekoch is definitely going to get on his team because you had a simple 3-and-out, small miscommunications, small flags, and you almost had the fumble, and now you're giving up this easy one-play score. But nonetheless, as they tried to go for the 2-point conversion, it was not good.
The 2-point conversion attempt fails, as Roderick mentioned. And that will leave the score 22-13 Eastview, with 6:02 remaining in the third quarter. A direct snap to the running back, Zach Pryor, for a 57-yard score. Well, you have to answer, and Eastview looking to come back out. You know, they've made some miscues on that second drive, a critical hold that backed them up into a 1st and 20, and then you had a false start with a 3rd and 1 situation.
And it's just small miscommunication, stuff like that, small kinks you still have to work out. It is the first game of the season, but the fact of the matter is that once they punted the ball, they gave up that 50-plus yard run. It was in the Wildcat, and it seemed like Eastview was there. They had the players to possibly stop that possession. Nonetheless, the running back ended up breaking through the line and having a 57-yard scamper.
Matthew Jack out to kick it away for Westwood. Back deep, Michael Sedgwick and Tyler Wagner for the Patriots. Jack will kick this one away. It's going to squib and go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. And so look for this to go to the 30. Here come your Patriots back out on the field, led by Peyton Adams, Astriel Dianis, to his right in the backfield. Snap, and he will hand this up the middle to Dianis, who will pick up about 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and 8 from the 32-yard line of Eastview. Adams has it. He rolls left, and he will throw this one into the ground right in front of Jerry Barone. As a Westwood defender was right there, and had he not thrown it into the ground, that could have possibly been a pick six.
Yeah, I think Peyton knew that as soon as that defender started to bite on that, he had to throw it to the ground, or at least throw it to the defender's feet, knowing that he could have saved a pick six.
Adams for the gun. He drops back. He's looking for a receiver deep, and it's going to be over the head of Sedgwick, and will go incomplete. That will bring up 4th down. 4th and 8 from the 32 for your Eastview Patriots. We want to thank you for tuning in and watching Eastview Patriot football on SHN Sports. I'm Michael Francis alongside Roderick Castillo. We want to wish the best to our other broadcasting partner, Chris Bauer, who is not able to be here with us tonight. Sedgwick back to punt. He will punt this one away. He gets a good booming punt. This will get a Patriot roll, and it's down to the Westwood 12-yard line. Outstanding punt from Michael Sedgwick. Westwood will start from their own 12-yard line. As Mike Davis will lead the Warriors back out. Zach Pryor out wide to Davis's right. Snap back to Davis. He's looking for his receiver. It's caught and knocked out of the hands of Jaden Weber. And I want to say that they're ruling it incomplete. That will bring up 2nd down and 10.
I know this defense definitely wants to make up for that last possession and giving up that long touchdown.
Davis in the gun. Brian Lee to his right. 4-man front for the Patriots. Try to hit a screen pass over to Jaden Weber, and that goes through his hands and incomplete. That will bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Warriors. Third down and 10 from the 12-yard line. Davis drops back. He's looking for an open receiver. Weber is open, but he's out of bounds and uncatchable. That will bring up 4th and 10 as Michael Sedgwick in on the coverage as he busts that play up.
I know the coaches in Westwood were definitely wanting a flag, but the ref, knowing that the ball was already headed towards out of bounds, made the correct call and not calling a pass interference.
Well, the runner was also out of bounds too. So, I mean, he'd already stepped a foot out, and it was uncatchable. And Westwood will punt this one away. Wendland punts this one away, and that will make it to about the Westwood 33-yard line, a relatively short punt. I think it might have been 21-yard punt.
I know that punter wants that kickback because knowing that he just gave up Eastview really good field position, and they're already, their backs to the wall, and Eastview looking to capitalize definitely on this great field position.
Adams in the gun. Edmondson to his right. He'll hand this one off to Edmondson. Edmondson will be stopped a yard behind the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd down and 11 from the 34 of Westwood. Edmondson to Adams' right. Adams rolls right, and then he hands off, and it drops the ball, and it'll be a turnover on downs as Edmondson fumbles the ball away. And so another turnover.
We've already had pretty much the third turnover so far this night for this Eastview offense, something that definitely they did not want to have going to tonight's game, knowing it's a season opener. And so back come out the defense, and hopefully the Red Storm can once again bend but not break.
1st and 10 from the 35 of Westwood. It's hard to win when you make these turnovers, and right now Westwood's winning this turnover battle. And fortunately, the Red Storm defense has been able to keep Westwood at bay and out of the end zone. Davis audibles. He has Brian Lee to his left. He will drop back. He's looking to hit Grant Yeager, and that will go harmlessly onto the ground as he overthrows Yeager. That will bring up 2nd down and 10. 2nd and 10 from the 35 of Westwood. Again, Davis goes into a wildcat, and he will hand this one off to Lee. Lee around to the left side, and he will be tackled about a 1-yard gain. That will bring up 3rd down and 9 for Westwood. Davis looks to the sideline to get the play. Eastview with a 4-man front. Davis from the gun. He drops back. He's looking for a receiver deep. And this one will be picked off. It'll be picked off by Eastview, so another turnover as the ball was batted as Davis threw it. And so Eastview picks up a turnover.
Yeah, Davis was trying to look for the long play, and all of a sudden, out from behind him come the defensive end and disrupts the pass, and all of a sudden Eastview coming up with a crucial turnover/interception, and now they have the ball in great field position, hoping to capitalize compared to what happened on their last possession.
Eastwood 1st and 10. Eastview 1st and 10 from the 40. It finds Michael Sedgwick on the sideline for completion. It will be roughly a 17-yard pickup. Adams will keep it himself as he stumbled on the handoff. It looks like he will just get back to the line of scrimmage. That will bring up 2nd and 10 for the Patriots.
You could tell he wanted to really hold on to that ball as long as he could until the last second to see what that defensive end would do. But knowing that the defensive end didn't bite on it, Adams had to hold on to the ball before he could fumble.
Barone in motion. He's just getting direction from Adams. Adams from the gun. He will hand off to Asriel Dianas, who ends up slipping and losing his footing, and that will be a 6-7 yard loss on the play. That will bring up 3rd down and about 15. Third and 15 from the Westwood 27. Adams in the gun, and Sedgwick wanting a pass interference penalty, and pass will go incomplete. No flag on the play.
It seems like there was a small miscommunication between Sedgwick and Adams, not knowing perhaps when he was going to break that route, if he was going to break the route. And so that's why it led to the incompletion. And now Eastview's faced with a 4th down and about 15.
4th and 15 from the Westwood 27. Azriel Dianis in motion. Adams drops back. He's looking for his receiver. He has Jacob Martin wide open in the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown, Eastview. They will extend their lead 28-13, pending the P.A.T.
And such a nice play design by Feacock and their staff, knowing that in that certain the corner or the safety wasn't going to be able to find where number 45 was at, Jacob Martin, and knowing that Peyton had him on a deep route.
P.A.T. is up and good. And Eastview will extend their lead 29-13 with 1:57 remaining here in the third quarter. Eastview turning it around after a turnover and then getting that interception. Red Storm defense comes through again. The only real hiccup they've had on the night was that big explosive 57-yard run by Zach Pryor for Westwood's second score of the night.
And for the most part, you got to give it up to this Red Storm defense that even though Eastview hasn't had good times as well on the offensive end, giving up those 3 turnovers, the defense has definitely stepped it up tonight and only allowed Westwood 13 points. And the defense once again steps up and gets that turnover, leading to the score with Adams and Martin.
Charles Harris on to kick it away to the Westwood Warriors. Back deep for the Warriors. Jaden Weber and Zach Pryor. Harris set to kick it away. He puts toe to leather. This one is kicked deep. And this looks like it's going to roll in for a touchback. And Westwood will start at their own 25. Westwood has struggled to get out of their own end of the field most of the night.
Yeah, it just seems like they're playing catch-up with Eastview. Eastview's had pretty much good to relatively great field position every possession that they have, and Westwood has seemed like their backs are against the wall the entire night. Yes, they've come up with 13 points, but at the same time, they've had to pretty much itch and scratch their way out of this field position game.
Davis drops back. He's looked for his receiver across the middle, about the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up a 3-yard gain. Darian Barnes with the reception. Actually, they're going to give him, it's about 3. 2nd down and 7 from the Westwood 28. Davis from the gun. Barnes to his right. Low snap. Davis drops back. He finds Michael Thailing across the middle. Through his hands, incomplete. That will bring up 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 from the 28 for the Westwood Warriors. It's not that Davis is making bad passes. That was a very catchable pass.
Yeah, the passes are getting there for his receivers. His receivers are just out of reach, or they just can't hang on to the ball.
Davis rolls right. He finds his receiver. Eastview is saying that he was juggling the ball. The referee does not agree with him. That will be a 1st down reception for Zach Pryor. That'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the Westwood 38-yard line. Davis with an empty set. He drops back. He's looking for a receiver across the middle, and he does. He finds Barnes across the middle. Barnes with about a 4 to 5 yard gain. Looks like a 4-yard gain. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6 from the 42. Davis barks out the signals. Barnes to his left. Barnes in motion. Davis drops back. He's looking for a receiver across the middle, and no one was there. Closest to it was Nathaniel Henderson for Eastview. That'll go incomplete and bring up 3rd down. Third and 6 for Westwood. Third and 6 from the 42. Davis drops back. He's looking for a receiver. That's through the hands of Jaden Weber, incomplete. And that will bring up 4th down. 4th and 6 for the Warriors. Davis looks like he's trying to talk his coach into going for it.
This would be crucial for the Westwood Warriors if they ended up making this 1st down, but it's also crucial and a big risk as well if they don't make this 1st down. That Eastview, once again, will be granted really good field position, and they're winning the field position battle at this moment.
Brian Lee in the backfield with Mike Davis, and Westwood going to go for it. There's a blitz on, and Thomas Thornburg swallows Davis up for a huge loss. Eastview will take over on downs, and the ball will be spotted roughly about the Westwood 31-yard line. And that's exactly what you talked about, Roderick, was getting that great field position. Thomas Thornburg with the blitz.
I mean, Thornburg, we really talked about him all night, and he's showing up once again. And it was a risky call by the Westwood Warriors, electing to go for it on that 4th down, knowing that they could be possibly giving up great field position, and now Eastview takes over.
Adams with the handoff. And I missed who he handed it off to. Did you see that?
It was Adams' pass to, I think, Barone.
Pass to Barone, and that will end the 3rd quarter. Eastview leading this one into the 4th, 29-13. Just doing some just doing a little cleanup here on my paperwork as Eastview is looking to add to their lead here at the beginning of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we had pretty much Eastview scoring twice in this 3rd quarter alone, along with Westwood scoring once as well with a long 50-plus yard running touchdown. But nonetheless, Westwood has in fact turned the ball over twice in that 3rd quarter. And right now they gave the ball up on downs, and now Eastview looking to capitalize on that turnover on downs with another score.
And they're 30, roughly, well, they were 31. They're now, looks like 25 yards away from pay dirt. Adams will hand this off to Asdriel Dianis for a short gain, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 2. Third and 2 from the 24. Adams from the gun. He'll hand off to Dianis. Dianis around the right side. He'll pick up the 1st down and then some. He will gain about 7 yards on the carry. And the Patriots with another 1st down. First and 10 from the 16. Adams hands off to Edmondson. Edmondson will pick up 2 yards. A Warrior defender just got him by the ankles and caused him to stumble enough to fall forward. Barone in motion. Again, Adams hands off to Edmondson. Edmondson clinging for dear life to that ball, and he will pick up about five yards on that carry. That'll bring up 3rd down at about 4. Asdriel Dianis back in. He will line up to the right of Adams. Snap. Adams will roll right, and then he'll pitch out to Dianis. Dianis up the middle, and he will be close to the 1st down. He's just going to be short. That will bring up 4th and about 1. Adams has it. He will hand off to Dianis. Dianis round to the right, and he will pick up the 1st down. That will bring up 1st and goal for the Patriots. Patriots threatening to strike as they are at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal, Barone in motion. He will hand off to Barone. Barone rolls around, and he is close. He gets down to the 1-yard line. That will bring up 2nd and goal from the 1. Dianis to his left. He hands off to Dianis, and Dianis will be stopped short. It looks like he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Adams will line up in the gun. Dianis to his left. Adams with the keeper. And he extends the ball over the goal line, and they indicate touchdown. Another Eastview Patriot touchdown for Peyton Adams, his 2nd of the night. As Eastview extends their lead 35-13 here in the 4th quarter.
And just a really nice drive by Eastview once again, this time pounding the ball and just showing their will on the offensive line. And you got to give it up for Adams, you got to give it up for Edmondson, and you got to give it up for Dianis.
P.A.T. is no good. And that will keep the score 35-13. Eastview with a 22-point lead over the Westwood Warriors. 9 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the game. Eastview looking to put an exclamation point on this night with a big opening win statement over these Westwood Warriors.
And you're definitely seeing that right now. They're trying to find the recipe. Each team, Westwood and Eastview, are trying to find their recipe, and it just seems like everything is clicking on the running end for Eastview. You know, Adams, once again, even though Eastview has given up turnover after turnover, they found a way to claw back and actually extend their lead into this game.
And they really have. It's showing some really good signs here early in the season. To see some of this senior leadership with Peyton Adams on the offense, Thomas Thornburg on the defense, and you can definitely tell their effect in this game tonight. Charles Harris set to kick it back to Westwood. Back deep, Zach Pryor and Darian Barnes. Pryor makes a reception at the 9-yard line, and he will be stacked up and tackled at the 24. Thirteenth possession of the night for Westwood. And the ledger sheet is definitely in favor of Eastview tonight.
And if you're definitely Westwood right now, you're trying to find any sort of combination of plays or any sort of mixture of something just to try to cut into this lead or just to try to pump up the crowd in any sort of way, knowing that this lead is slipping away and this game is slipping away towards Eastview's favor.
It's a Wildcat formation, a direct snap to Zach Pryor. And a flag will whistle the play dead. Usually that's indicative of a false start. And that will back Westwood up 5. 1st and 15 from the 19-yard line. Pryor in at quarterback, and he will hand off to Brian Lee, and Lee will gain back 2 of those 5 yards and have an injured player on the field. And while Westwood tends to their player, definitely seeing some good things from Eastview tonight. It's a good start on the season to see these guys doing some of the right things. There has been a few mistakes, probably more than you really want to see from Eastview, but it's the first game, and as you mentioned, these non-district games don't count toward the playoffs. That's only when the real contests start is in district play. You can go into district being 0-3 on the season and then still win your district and be a district champion.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And like you mentioned earlier, there's certain things that P.A.T is definitely going to address towards the team, like the turnovers and stuff of that nature. But there's also really good things. You're seeing good things out of Peyton Adams. You're seeing good things out of your running backs. You're seeing good things, and you're seeing really great leadership amongst your seniors and even sometimes your juniors.
Zach Pryor in at quarterback. He will take the snap, and he will hand off to his running back. He's stacked up in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. That will bring up, they gave him a 1-yard loss. That'll bring up 3rd down and 14 from the 20-yard line. Mike Davis back in at quarterback. From the shotgun, Brian Lee to his left. He drops back. He's looking for an open receiver. He throws deep. He's got Jaden Weber, but just overthrows him by about 2 yards. That was a deep strike down the field. That was about a 50-yard toss.
And Westwood trying any simple way that they can to try to cut into this lead that's slowly slipping away from them. And Davis had an open receiver, just overthrew him about maybe 2 yards, and henceforth that's why we have a 4th down and Westwood looking to punt the ball off.
4th and 14, Gus Wendland on to punt the ball away from the 20-yard line. Oh, and it's through his legs and into the end zone. Eastview with an opportunity as they push him out of bounds roughly at the 6-yard line. Wendland able to get it out of the end zone. which would have resulted in another safety.
And Windland just trying to run for his life just to avoid that another safety here in this opening night, and able to even though he wasn't able to get the kickoff, all of a sudden Eastview once again is winning this position battle and now has the ball in red zone territory, knocking on the door, looking to extend their lead and keep their foot on the throats of these Warriors.
All gas, no brakes, as the saying has been going around, and Peyton Adams will take over first and goal from the 6. He will take the snap, and he will hand off to Edmonds, who goes up the middle into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night. Eastview extends their lead 41-13. Edmondson with a 6-yard carry. And the P.A.T. no good. Wide right. 7:31 remaining in the fourth quarter. Eastview leading this one 41-13.
And you can feel just Eastview having total control of the second half. And even though Westwood, they ended up scoring on that long scamper in the third quarter, it's been all Eastview from then on, winning the position battle, their turnover battle, and that defense is definitely stepping up.
It definitely has, and you can tell as the game is worn along that this strong defense is wearing down that offensive front for Westwood, and likewise the linemen up front are wearing down that defensive front for Westwood. Eastview definitely winning in virtually every category of this game, with possibly the exception of special teams, with Harris unable to get the extra points through.
And that's definitely something that Fekoch is definitely going to address going into their film studies, and even just talking with his kicker, just telling him, hey, man, it's the first game of the season, knowing that there's definitely going to be hiccups and everything, but knowing also as well that this needs to be addressed here in the long run.
Harris will kick this one into the end zone for a touchback, and Westwood will start at their own 25. And so if you're Westwood, you need to go out here and continue to play ball and do what you need to do without just laying down. And but they've been trying to play their hearts out, and they're going to walk it back. They somehow got lined up at the 30, and so the official will advance it back to the 25. First and 10 from the Westwood 25. Snap back to Davis. He will hand off to Brian Lee, who is swallowed up by the Red Storm defense in the backfield for a loss of 2.
And even though this game seems out of reach for Westwood, and it seems that Eastview is most likely going to come out of this game with a victory, there's still certain things that Westwood can take away. And like you mentioned earlier, Mike, that there's still time to at least play hard and get some good things out of this game whenever they revisit this game in their film studies.
Right, for sure. So you got a lot of things that you need to improve on. Davis from the gun, he will hand off to Brian Lee. Brian Lee will be thrown out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. That will bring up 3rd down and 8. Now they're going to give him another yard close to it, so that it will bring up 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 for the Westwood Warriors. Marcus Clinton in at tailback. Mike Davis in at quarterback. from the gun. Davis will drop back. He's looking for a receiver deep. And it was in the hands of Marion Lopez, and he just could not quite haul it in. Right on his fingertips, and it was a catchable ball, but he just could not pull it in. And it will go incomplete.
And that's just pretty much been the story of the night for Davis. Davis has pretty much had a couple of overthrows, but definitely whenever it's needed, Davis has given his receivers a chance to catch the ball, and the receivers' fingertips or whatever it may be, they're just not able to haul in the catches.
4th and 7, and this is punted away, and it is caught by Jerry Barone. Barone with a 4-yard return. He got laid out pretty good.
That's what comes at the price of football is that you're going to have moments like that where people are laying down the wood, they're getting good hits, and despite him getting a good licking, he definitely got back up within a hurry.
Eastview 1st and 10 from their own 45. Adams from the gun. Edmondson to his left, or his right. He hands off. He's up the middle with a 12-yard gain. It'll be a Eastview 1st down. Ronnie Goldman comes in for Jerry Barone. The wide receiver, Sedgwick, wide to Adams' left. Edmondson in at tailback. The snap to Adams. He will hand off to Edmondson up the middle, and he is just driving. He will pick up 15 on the carry and another Patriot 1st down.
And throughout this whole night, you've been seeing Edmondson and Giannis just imposing their will and just laying down the hits.
Whistle will blow the play dead, and timeout called by Westwood. .447 remaining in the 4th quarter. Eastview leading this one 41-13 and handily taking care of Westwood tonight. And Westwood facing two 13-5A Division II opponents back-to-back as they took on Rouse in a scrimmage last week and then taking on Eastview this week. And Rouse taking care of business last week with Westwood, and it definitely shows you the quality of play that is in this district with these teams.
That's right, Mike. And definitely with tonight, you're seeing Eastview truly trying to find their identity, and you're starting to see some great guys come out and start to play, even in their first time in action for varsity. You like we mentioned earlier, Giannis and Edmondson, both sophomores, seeing their first Friday night lights of action, are proving that they deserve to be on this stage.
Absolutely, they've proven they belong. Adams in the gun, Edmondson to his right. Adams rolls. He's looking for his receiver in the end zone and goes out of bounds as he was looking for Carlos Ramirez. And that will go incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the Westwood 29. Adams in the gun. He will pitch to Ronnie Goldman. Ronnie Goldman will pick up another 1st down. Goldman showing some speed right there, Roderick.
Yeah, definitely, and it's no surprise that Goldman and Sedgwick and some of these receivers are definitely showing their flashes of speed tonight.
Goldman in motion again. This time he will hand off to Edmondson. Edmondson met at the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a half yard. That will bring up second down at 11. From the 17. Adams will take the snap. He hands off to Edmondson. Edmondson stacked up for another yard loss, and that will bring up third and about 13 yards. Patriots need to get down to the 7-yard line to pick up a first down. Third and 13 from the 20. Adams drops back. He fake pumps a pass and will keep it as his receivers were covered. He picks up about 2 yards. That will bring up 4th and 11. Fourth and 11 from the 18-yard line. Adams from the shotgun. He drops back. He's looking for a receiver. He finds no one. He's looking toward the end zone. That's going to be over the outstretched arms of Jacob Martin and be incomplete. That'll be a turnover on downs. But Westwood doing a great job of covering the Eastview receivers.
And this is what I mean, Mike. Even though that Westwood has pretty much this game out of reach, they're still trying to play hard. They're still trying to fight hard, and there's something good that they can take away from this.
Westwood will take over from their own 18. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this contest. Eastview leading 41-13. Mike Davis in the gun. He will hand off to Marcus Clinton. And Clinton will scamper for about 7 yards. That will bring up second down and 3. Coming down to 2 minutes left. Davis barks out the signals. He will hand off to Lee. Lee up the middle, and he will pick up the first down. Gain of 5. First and 10 from the Westwood 31. Marcus Clinton comes back in. Jackson Laughlin in the slot. Davis takes a snap, and he'll hand off to Clinton up the middle. Clinton rambles for about 5 yards. That'll bring up second down and 5. Second down and 5 from their own 36-yard line. Davis will hand off to Clinton again, who takes it up the middle and is close to the first down, and they're going to give him the first down on that one. $50 seconds remaining in the contest. Davis will hand off to Clinton, and Clinton stacked up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3. Clock winding down, less than 20 seconds remaining. And it's looking like they're not even going to try to run off another play. And that's going to do it, folks. Eastview starts the season off 1-0 as they soundly defeat the Westwood Warriors at their place 41-13. What an exciting game tonight, Roderick.
Yeah, definitely. And like we mentioned earlier, if you're just joining the broadcast, if you didn't see the beginning of the game, Eastview already had 2 turnovers early in the game, and it seemed like if it was a back and forth with a 7-15 halftime lead, that Eastview carried into the halftime. But coming into the second half, all of a sudden we see Eastview start to make those adjustments you spoke about. He spoke about that P.A.T and his staff made. Even last year, they made adjustments into this game to the beginning of the season, and you clearly saw Eastview put their feet on the necks of the Warriors, and all of a sudden, out open the floodgates when Eastview starts scoring, and the Red Storm defense that came to play tonight as well and held Westwood to 13 points. And overall, it's just a good thing that you can take away from the Eastview Patriots, and there's definitely a lot they're going to learn from, but the overall point was to get a victory into tonight's game, and it's an away game, and way to steal one from Westwood.
Absolutely. It's just a great start to the season. They got things going in the first with a safety of Mike Davis to take a 2-point lead. And then in their third possession, they end up scoring a touchdown with Peyton Adams. They threw the 45-yard strike to Michael Sedgwick, who ends up taking it to the house for the first touchdown for the Patriots on the night. And that was some concerning because there were offsetting penalties. There was a flag on the play, and weren't certain if the touchdown was going to count. But it ultimately ended up counting. A player, I do believe, was ejected. Did not see him back in the game after that. And so then Eastview comes out and has another big play, and Peyton Adams ends up taking it into the end zone as a keeper, and he had 2 scores on the night. And, just outstanding play by him, outstanding play by the sophomore running backs, and Azrael Dianis and Jalen Edmondson. Both backs had some explosive runs on the night of 20-plus yard carries. Great to see that. You saw some flashes from Jerry Barone in the third quarter coming out. He had 3 receptions in that series, and Edmonton runs that touchdown score in from 20 yards out. You had Tyler Wagner showing some great skills as a return man with a 19-yard return, and just great things that we saw from Eastview on both sides of the ball tonight. Westwood had that 57-yard explosive play score that resulted in that touchdown, and that's really the only place where Eastview just gave up a big play. Westwood didn't have a lot of plays, and they played in their own end of the field most of the night. So that says a lot for your Red Storm defense.
Yeah, exactly. With the Red Storm defense, you saw them literally playing to the position battle, and you saw Eastview literally take control of the field position, and majority of the game they were at least on their own 30 or on Westwood's end of the field when it came to the possession game. And even though despite the 3 turnovers, and I know Feacock is definitely going to address that to his team and especially to his running backs, because some of those turnovers were from the running backs and miscommunication between the quarterback and the running back. But that's what goes into all these different aspects into the first game of the season. You're trying to work out the kinks. You're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. And tonight, Eastview found what worked, and they stuck with it, and Westwood just had no answer. Westwood tried as hard as they could. Davis had a couple of open receivers that could have broke away for touchdowns, but the receivers weren't able to hang on to the ball. And you saw Eastview take advantage of every opportunity they had regarding turnover battle and regarding the field position game.
Eastview does what they do, and that's make good adjustments at halftime, and we saw that in this second half of play tonight as both the offense and defense took care of business. And, a great start to the season, a happy final here at Kelly Reeves, 41-13, Eastview. And we look forward to next week as the Patriots will host Harker Heights. That will be at Birkelbach Field at the Georgetown ISD Athletic Complex next Friday night at 7 o'clock. And we will see you then. For Roderick Castillo, I'm Michael Francis. We want to thank you for tuning in and watching Eastview Patriot football on SHN Sports. Good night, everyone.